Sometimes, the people the world admires the most are the ones hiding the darkest secrets. Sometimes, the smiles, the interviews, the sold-out shows, the millions of streams aren't signs of success. Sometimes, they're camouflage. And in the spring of 2025, prosecutors say, one of the fastest rising young artists in America was living exactly that kind of double life. To millions of fans, he was David, the young voice behind emotional anthems, the artist whose music filled headphones, bedrooms, road trips, and heartbreak playlists. His face was everywhere. TikTok edits, streaming platforms, interviews, social media, concert clips. He was young, talented, successful, untouchable, or at least, that's what people thought. Because according to investigators, behind the fame, behind the carefully managed image, behind the music, was a secret, so dangerous, so explosive, that if it ever came out, it wouldn't just destroy a career, it would destroy everything. And at the center of that secret was a 14-year-old girl. Her name was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And by the time investigators finally began piecing her story together, they would realize Celeste wasn't just another missing teenager. She was a girl who allegedly knew too much. And prosecutors now say that knowledge may have gotten her killed. Los Angeles, California. Early 2025. David Anthony Burke, known publicly as D4VD, was only 21 years old. But his career was moving faster than anyone expected. Streaming numbers climbing, industry attention growing, private events, exclusive parties, label meetings, brand conversations, and millions of young fans hanging on every lyric. To the public, Burke looked like a dream, a self-made success story, young, gifted, relatable, the kind of artist parents didn't worry about, the kind of celebrity teenagers trusted, and according to prosecutors, that may have made him even more dangerous. Because while his public life was exploding, investigators say his private life was becoming increasingly unstable, increasingly secretive, and increasingly criminal. According to court filings, Burke first met Celeste Rivas Hernandez years earlier. She was only 11 years old, still a child, still in school, still figuring out who she was. And like millions of other kids her age, she admired music, artists, online personalities, people who seemed larger than life. Investigators say that's how it started. A message, a reply, a conversation. At first, nothing alarming, nothing obvious, nothing that would immediately raise suspicion. But prosecutors say that over time, those conversations changed. The tone changed, the boundaries changed, and eventually, the relationship itself changed. What started as communication allegedly became secrecy. What started as admiration allegedly became emotional dependence. And what started as online attention, according to investigators, slowly became something far darker. By the time Celeste was 13, prosecutors say their communication had become constant. Late-night messages, private conversations, deleted chats, voice notes, photos, videos, cloud backups, and eventually, investigators say, explicit material. Material prosecutors say never should have existed. Material that would later become critical evidence. And according to investigators, Burke knew exactly how dangerous that evidence was. Because by now, he wasn't just talking to a fan. He was allegedly maintaining a hidden relationship with a minor. A relationship that, if exposed, could destroy everything. His career, his reputation, his freedom, his future. Friends of Celeste would later tell investigators, she changed. She disappeared emotionally, sometimes physically. Mood swings, withdrawals, arguments with family, unexplained absences, phone calls no one else could hear, texts no one else could see, and every time someone asked, she'd brush it off, smile, lie, change the subject, like she was protecting someone, or maybe afraid of losing someone. Because according to prosecutors, Celeste believed this relationship was real. She believed it meant something. She believed Burke cared about her. And maybe, at some point, he convinced her he did. But by April of 2025, everything started unraveling. Investigators would later recover thousands of messages, and among them, a series of conversations. From April 22nd through April 23rd, messages prosecutors now call the beginning of the end. Because according to court filings, these weren't normal conversations. These were emotional, volatile, explosive. There were discussions about sex, about pregnancy, about missed periods, about abortion, about secrecy, about fear. And then, there were threats. Real threats. Prosecutors say, Celeste was angry, hurt, emotional, and tired of being hidden. According to investigators, she allegedly told Burke she was done being his secret, done being hidden, done being used. And then, the message prosecutors believe changed everything. Investigators say, Celeste threatened to expose him, to expose the relationship, the photos, the messages, the truth. And if that happened, Burke's entire career could disappear overnight. For investigators, this may have been motive, because from that moment forward, Burke's behavior allegedly changed. Call logs changed. Movement changed. Search history changed. Online activity changed. And then, on April 23, 2025, Celeste disappeared. Hollywood Hills. A luxury rental property. Private. Gated. Quiet. No witnesses. No neighbors reporting screams. No calls to police. No signs of forced entry. Just another expensive home. In another wealthy neighborhood. And according to surveillance footage reviewed by investigators, Celeste arrived there. Alone. Walking. Phone in hand. Alive. And according to prosecutors, she never walked back out. Inside that house. According to investigators, the argument continued. Hours of emotional tension. Confrontation. Accusations. Pleading. Fear. And then, violence. According to prosecutors, Burke attacked Celeste with a knife. Not once. Not twice. But multiple times. The medical examiner would later determine that multiple stab wounds caused her death. People, 2026. But what prosecutors allege next would leave even veteran investigators shaken. They allege she didn't die immediately. They say Burke watched as she bled. Watched as a 14-year-old girl fought to stay alive. Watched as the person who trusted him most took her final breaths. And then there was silence. But according to investigators, that silence didn't trigger panic. It triggered planning. Because Burke didn't call 911. He didn't confess. He didn't run. Instead, prosecutors say, he cleaned. He wiped surfaces. He moved evidence. He deleted conversations. He disconnected accounts. And then, he opened his laptop. Days later, investigators would uncover something chilling. May 1, 2025. Amazon purchase history. Customer name. Victoria Mendez. Fake identity. Real delivery address. Burke's address. And according to prosecutors, the items purchased weren't random. 2 chainsaws. Industrial cutting tools. Heavy-duty equipment. And investigators say those purchases would change the entire case. Because now, this wasn't just homicide. Now, it looked like dismemberment. Planning. Concealment. Premeditation. But he wasn't finished. Because according to investigators, 4 days later, another delivery arrived. May 5th. Same fake name. Same address. This time, a body bag. Heavy-duty laundry bags. And a blue inflatable pool. A child's pool. The kind families buy for summer. The kind kids laugh in. The kind parents fill with water on sunny afternoons. And according to prosecutors, Burke allegedly had a very different purpose in mind. As fans streamed his songs, shared his lyrics, and watched his interviews, investigators say Burke was allegedly preparing for something unthinkable. And inside his garage, under fluorescent lights, behind a closed suburban door, prosecutors say the next phase was about to begin. A phase so disturbing, that even experienced homicide detectives would later struggle to describe it. And when investigators finally opened that garage, they would discover that the murder was only the beginning. Sometimes, the most horrifying part of a murder isn't the moment someone dies. Sometimes, it's what happens after, because death can happen in seconds, but cover-ups take time, planning, patience, calculation, and according to prosecutors, that's exactly what happened inside David Burke's home in the days that followed Celeste's death. By May of 2025, the 14-year-old girl, who had once laughed, texted, dreamed, and believed, was gone. And according to investigators, inside a luxury home, hidden behind locked doors, David Anthony Burke, known to the world as D4VD, was no longer thinking like an artist. He was thinking like someone trying to erase a person completely. And according to prosecutors, the next phase was already underway, because by now, the deliveries had started. Packages, boxes, supplies, tools, items purchased, not under his own name, but under an alias, Victoria Mendez, a fake identity, a real delivery address, and according to investigators, a very real plan. The first delivery arrived on May 1, 2025. Amazon. Standard packaging. Nothing unusual from the outside. Nothing that would alarm neighbors. Nothing that would make a delivery driver ask questions. Just another package at another celebrity home. But inside those boxes, according to prosecutors, were 2 chainsaws. Industrial grade. Powerful. New. Unused. At least, until then. And investigators say, those purchases would later become one of the most chilling pieces of evidence in the entire case, because nobody accidentally buys 2 chainsaws. Not like this. Not after a missing teenager disappears. Not after threatening text messages. Not after blood. Not after silence. And yet, according to prosecutors, Burke wasn't finished, because 4 days later, another package arrived. May 5th. Same address. Same fake name. This time, the items were even harder to explain. A body bag, heavy-duty laundry bags, industrial gloves, and a blue inflatable pool. A child's pool. Bright blue. The kind families buy for summer afternoons. The kind children laugh in. The kind parents fill with water in backyards. And according to prosecutors, Burke had something else in mind, because by now, investigators believe the garage had become something else. Not storage, not workspace, not a home gym, a crime scene. And according to prosecutors, inside that garage, with fluorescent lights overhead, concrete floors beneath him, and no witnesses nearby, Burke allegedly began the next stage. And what investigators would later reconstruct was so disturbing that even veteran homicide detectives paused, because according to prosecutors, Burke laid out the blue inflatable pool, not for water, not for children, but to contain what came next. Then, according to investigators, he opened the body bag, prepared the bags, prepared the tools, prepared to erase, and then, according to prosecutors, he started the chainsaws. And inside that garage, behind closed doors, in a quiet California neighborhood, the sound of machinery filled the air. But no neighbors called police. No one reported screams. No one reported anything unusual, because by then, there was no one left to scream. And according to prosecutors, Burke worked carefully, methodically, patiently, not like someone panicking, not like someone losing control, like someone with a plan. And investigators say that detail changed everything, because panic doesn't create fake identities. Panic doesn't order supplies. Panic doesn't wait for deliveries. This, according to prosecutors, looked like preparation. And the evidence kept getting worse, because as detectives examined digital records, they found something else. Search history, purchase confirmations, tracking updates, shipping notifications, deleted emails, cloud backups, And according to investigators, all of it pointed to one thing: intent, deliberate, calculated, cold. But then, the investigation uncovered something even more disturbing, something personal, something that made detectives stop, because according to prosecutors, during the dismemberment, Burke allegedly removed 2 of Celeste's fingers, not by accident, not randomly, intentionally. And when investigators asked why, the answer was chilling, because according to prosecutors, one of those fingers contained something he couldn't risk being found: a tattoo, his name, permanent, visible, evidence that couldn't be deleted, evidence that couldn't be explained away, evidence that tied him directly to her. And according to prosecutors, that's why those fingers were removed. Not rage, not panic, preservation, cover-up. And suddenly, this wasn't just homicide anymore. This wasn't just dismemberment. This was something darker, something colder, something almost clinical. And while investigators were uncovering all of this, David Burke was doing something else. He kept posting, kept texting, kept smiling, kept answering calls, kept acting like nothing had changed. Because while prosecutors say Celeste's body was being hidden, D4VD's music was still climbing, fans were still streaming, comments were still pouring in, interviews were still being shared, and millions of people had no idea what investigators now believed was happening behind closed doors. But every cover-up eventually develops cracks. And in this case, those cracks came from somewhere unexpected. A car, a black Tesla, registered to David Burke. At first, it seemed ordinary, just another luxury vehicle, just another celebrity car, nothing unusual, until investigators got a search warrant. And when they finally opened it, what they found would change this case forever. Because hidden inside, beneath carefully arranged items, inside heavy-duty bags, was something that detectives weren't prepared for, something that confirmed their worst fears, something that would make national headlines, something that would destroy everything. And when detectives confronted Burke with what they found, for the first time, the star, the performer, the untouchable artist, would finally realize his secret life was over. But what he said next, inside that interrogation room, would shock even the detectives. Because according to investigators, David Burke wasn't ready to confess. Not yet. First, he tried something else. Something no one expected. Something that almost worked. Some lies can survive for days. Some can survive for weeks. Some can survive interviews, fans, fame, money, lawyers, social media, millions of people believing a version of you that never really existed. But no lie survives evidence. And by the time investigators opened David Burke's Tesla, the truth was no longer hiding. It was waiting, quietly, patiently. And once detectives saw what was inside, everything changed. For days, investigators had been building the timeline. Messages, call logs, cloud backups, Amazon deliveries, deleted conversations, financial records, location data, security footage, search history, every digital footprint, every movement, every purchase, every lie, was starting to form a single picture. And at the center of it all was one man, David Anthony Burke, known to the world as D4VD. By now, investigators believed they knew what happened. But belief isn't enough. Not in court. Not in homicide. Not when one of the most recognizable young artists in America is sitting at the center of a murder investigation. They needed proof. Something undeniable. Something physical. Something that couldn't be explained away. And according to prosecutors, that proof was sitting in his garage. A black Tesla. Clean. Expensive. Silent. Parked like nothing was wrong. The kind of car people take photos beside. The kind of car fans dream about. But according to investigators, Inside that vehicle was a secret that no amount of fame could protect. Detectives approached carefully, search warrant approved, crime scene team ready, evidence bags, gloves, cameras, and as the rear compartment opened, the air changed. Even before they looked, even before they touched anything, something felt wrong. And then, according to prosecutors, they found heavy-duty bags, multiple bags, carefully placed, carefully hidden, carefully sealed. And once investigators opened them, there was no longer any doubt. The missing girl was no longer missing. Celeste Rivas Hernandez had been found. And with that discovery, the case changed forever. Because now, this wasn't a missing person investigation. This wasn't suspicion. This wasn't theory. This was homicide. Premeditated, calculated, and according to prosecutors, deliberately concealed. And suddenly, the evidence was everywhere. DNA, fibers, blood traces, tool residue, packaging materials, purchase records, location tracking. Everything, every lie, was collapsing. And for the first time, David Burke was no longer being treated like a witness. He was being treated like a suspect. And within hours, he was sitting inside an interrogation room. No cameras, no stage lights, no interviews, no fans, no music, just silence, a table, a chair, detectives, and the truth. At first, Burke stayed calm, very calm, too calm. According to investigators, he didn't cry, didn't panic, didn't ask questions, didn't demand a lawyer immediately. He sat there, quiet, almost detached, like someone who still believed he could control the story. And when detectives placed the evidence in front of him, the photos, the purchases, the delivery records, the Tesla, the bags, the messages, the timestamps, he looked at them, quietly, and according to investigators, for several seconds, he said nothing. Then, he smiled. Not broadly, not dramatically, just enough for detectives to notice. And for veteran investigators, that moment was chilling, because smiles don't belong in rooms like that. Not when a child is dead, not when evidence is overwhelming, not when your secret life has finally ended. And yet, according to detectives, Burke smiled. Then he started talking. At first, small lies, predictable lies. He said she left. He said he hadn't seen her. He said someone else must have taken her. He said he didn't know anything. But investigators already knew better, because every time he lied, they already had the answer. Every time he denied, they already had the timestamp. Every time he changed his story, they already had the receipts. The Amazon purchases, the fake name, Victoria Mendez, the chainsaws, the body bag, the blue inflatable pool, the deleted messages, the texts, and perhaps most devastating of all, the conversations between him and Celeste. Messages about secrecy, messages about sex, messages about pregnancy, messages about abortion, and messages where prosecutors say Celeste threatened to expose everything, to expose him, to destroy his career, to tell the world. And according to prosecutors, that may have been the moment Burke decided she couldn't stay alive. Eventually, the lies stopped. Not because he wanted to confess, but because there was nowhere left to run. And according to prosecutors, Burke finally admitted Celeste had come to his home on April 23rd. He admitted they argued. He admitted the confrontation escalated. And then, according to court filings, he admitted he stabbed her multiple times. The medical examiner would later confirm multiple penetrating injuries. But what shocked investigators most was what came next. Because according to prosecutors, Burke admitted she didn't die immediately. He admitted he watched as she bled, watched as a 14-year-old girl fought for her life, watched as the person who once trusted him took her final breaths. And then, instead of calling for help, instead of turning himself in, Instead of telling the truth, he started planning. The orders, the tools, the chainsaws, the bags, the pool, the garage, everything. And according to prosecutors, Burke also admitted why 2 fingers were removed. Because one finger contained a tattoo. His name, permanent, visible, evidence. Evidence, he believed, could destroy him. But by then, it already had. News broke fast. National headlines, entertainment blogs, news stations, podcasts, social media, millions of fans, staring at headlines they never imagined reading. The rising star, the young artist, the voice behind heartbreak songs, now accused of something far darker. And almost overnight, the music stopped. Brand deals disappeared. Interviews vanished. Streams slowed. Sponsorships ended. Partnerships collapsed. And the carefully built image that had taken years to create collapsed. In days. In court, David Burke entered a plea of not guilty. And as of today, the case continues. Prosecutors continue building evidence. Defense attorneys continue fighting. Courtrooms remain full. Reporters still wait outside. Families still grieve. And somewhere, inside old messages, old photos, old voice notes, old conversations, a 14-year-old girl still exists. A girl who once believed someone famous, someone talented, someone powerful actually cared. Her name was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And according to prosecutors, that trust cost her everything. Because sometimes, the most dangerous monsters don't hide in darkness. Sometimes, they write songs. Sometimes, they go viral. Sometimes, they make millions while hiding secrets that nobody sees until it's too late.